Hey everybody, it's Keshia with Caliburn Group, and I'm going to show you how I set up the studio today because we're getting ready to do a bunch of shoots. So neat. I'm awkward as hell. None of these intros are going to go well. Oh, there's a cat. I'm just going to show you guys our setup for our studio. We are just starting out, so it's in my living room. Neat. This is all neatly folded. Thank you, Laura. I don't. I usually just throw it in a ball because this is horrible material. I'm gonna have to edit it anyways, no matter what I do. And if I throw it in a ball, it's as likely to be square wrinkles. Oh well. It was all neat and folded, and I feel inadequate now. Awesome. Two edges first because that makes it way easier to just slip these clips on so that it stays. Okay, and then I like to keep 4 clips ready so that when it's up I can clip the sides. I'm not as worried about the sides. The seat's usually pretty good for just keeping it straight, but the sides are a good idea just in case you don't want, just in case like somebody steps on it and tries, it like moves the thing. Oh really? Hi. So now that I've got that set up, I'm going to set up the light. So we're using ProMaster lights. We splurged a little bit for these. Took a while of saving, but we got it. When you're first starting out, this is like, having money to splurge is not a thing. So you don't get to have the best quality equipment, and you don't get to have all the things you want. This was really a good purchase. Like, having good light as a photographer is one of the most important things in any shot because cameras record light. So if you don't have good lighting, you don't get a good shot. One of the really tricky things with studio, even though you have all this capacity to make good lighting for yourself, is that oftentimes if you don't have a good enough camera or say something fails on you, you don't have enough light. So you're having to sacrifice the quality of your image by increasing your sensor sensitivity. That was one thing that was really important for me to learn. I went through a few courses for photography at Red Deer College, and it was really important because I learned that the ISO sensitivity should never be increased unless you need more light. And because the increasing sensitivity of your sensor actually produces grain because it's overworking itself and it's causing these flare-ups, I guess. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the Octobox. I've chatted long enough. So make sure that this is down when you're in it, because if you don't, it's a pain in the butt because you're going to put it on backwards. So one piece is out. That's where all the little knobs are to hook into our end and little light over here. And also big side to the center. learned that one the hard way. A pain in the butt. Put it through these little novels things first. Yes, novels is a word. Ah. The first like 3, 4 are always the worst, by the way, and you will struggle with this. First time, took me an hour to put it together, and then I didn't even want to take it apart. I was like, nope, I'm gonna just drive with it. So at this, you want to do every other one. It doesn't matter which direction you start in. I'm going counterclockwise, I guess. So yeah, every other one. I have the first 2. Down. Once you've done this a couple times, it looks really easy, but it's not. And if you struggle, do not hate yourself, because honestly, this is probably the most frustrating part for me, at least, about setting up a studio, is setting up the lights. The lights are a pain in the butt, especially if you have to set up the octo boxes by scratch. But I don't really have anywhere to store this, so when I'm done with shoots, I have to tear it down. So after this, it should be really easy. So I have 4 in. They all look like they're in the right slots. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest. Once they're a little more flexible, even if you give them the wrong spots, you can probably just like wiggle it out and then move it over. I had to do that the other day when I set this up. What they should build is octo boxes that set up kind of like our reflector discs. They've already created backdrops like it, but it would be neat to see if we could set up like sort of like a accordion style puppetry setup for the octo boxes, so that we didn't have to set them up like this, because this is a pain in the butt. So sometimes it'll like not quite go in all the way, and you want all of this metal piece, this one, into the slot. So what I do is I brace with my arm and press down so that it's straight and can go in. Oh, that doesn't want to go down. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, this thing's big. This thing's huge. Hello. Okay. Yeah, make sure all of your Velcro goes back and that the holes are sealed, because light leaking is not fun. You want the maximum amount of light you need. Okay. I think it's good. Okay, so the next part that I do is that I'll set up the thing. So these things are brilliant. These are great. They're light stands. And you need them. But the biggest pain in the butt with this is that it is like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So you want to make sure that it is at its widest so that this won't tip over. You want this thing positioned so that you don't have issues. So the next part, just like making sure that this is wide enough so that this doesn't topple it over, is always a good option, because if it topples over, that's expensive equipment going on the ground. I also have a bungee cord that I try to use to just brace it in case it starts to tip, like so that something catches it. My DIY thing is that I just kind of like hook it into the doors of my pantry. So I tend to try and find where the most unlikely spot is for it to start shifting its weight to. Raise you up so you can see what I'm doing, because yeah. So last part, put this on, and it's all Velcro, super easy. Okay, so yeah, it just comes in like that. Yeah, it like barely fits across this thing, so I'm not even worried about it not fitting. I'm more worried about like being too big. I'm more worried about it like being too small. I've never had problems with it with light leaking. It usually doesn't ever hit the base anyways when I do portraiture. So now we test to see if it works. Such a pretty light. But yeah, so that's how I usually set up my studio. I usually also have a light over here, but I set it up on a tripod that's holding up the camera right now. So yeah, that's pretty much my studio setup. Come here, baby. Hello. Up up. Up up. Amara. Up up. Up up. Jump up. Jump up. Oh, she's just too excited. Like, Mom is here. Mom's letting me out. Hi. Hiya, Weasel. Hi, Weasel. Jump up. Hi. Hi. I just want to play with my toy. You're such a doofus. Up, up. Jump up. Up, up. Up, up. She tries to catch it with her paws. If this turns into a me playing with my dog video, I am okay with this. Anyways, thank you for watching. My name is Keshia. If you forgot to do it, like, subscribe, and share this with your friends because we're just a small little company that's just starting out and we could use the support. So check us out on Facebook and get in touch with the things that we're doing as outside of just photography. We're going to also be uploading some things for our TV show. It's all really low budget, but we're hoping that the writing is good enough for you guys. The little thing about it, it's a little bit sci-fi, kind of reminiscent of like Supernatural, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, all those really neat stuff that I know I loved when I was in my teens and I still love today. All that really neat sci-fi stuff. Just to do this. What are you doing? What's up? You're so excited. Mom's paying attention to me. Oh, no, be careful. I shouldn't get her excited. If I get her excited, she'll break things. But yeah, so keep in touch with all the things that we're doing outside of just photography. I'll be doing some editing videos as well soon to show you how to edit portraiture and how to edit pet photos, or at least how we do it. Anyways, have yourselves a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Bye. It's a little different than regular portraiture, where you get to do a bunch of random things, unless we want to do a bunch of goofy things with you having the bullet wound be like, I'm still not dead, bitch! I love it.